Ata is an organizer and is wondering how to expand his business someday.
Do you want to buy shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange? Or probably sell your shares? Are you interested in investing in treasury bills? Have you been thinking about listing your company on the Ghana Stock Exchange? Talk to GN Investment today. You can reach GN Investment on 030-9788-3809.
Efua's parents learned from GN Investment how they can invest money to pay for her university tuition. GN Investment helps Mr. Asari with market research, company valuation, and how to list his company on the Ghana Stock Exchange. GN Investment visits Ata and advises him on how to grow his small business.
At GN Investment, we proudly say that we invest with discipline.
In the morning before you go to sleep at night.
You're back to the first show on First Digital TV on the channel First TV, and I have with me former Member of Parliament for Busa North Constituency, Honorable Timothy Ataboadey, of the Progressive People's Party, but Kwadjo Sarfo Kantanka is
Kantanka,
you are
Kantanka.
Oh.
Kantanka Jnr. That guy is a
Kantanka what?
Junior.
Junior.
Yeah. If you say
Kantanka. He's also an entrepreneur, and he's joined us on a platform. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and how are you doing?
We're great.
Thank God you've come. I'll start off with you. First of all, let's just do. How are you doing, Honorable Ataboadey? You're doing fine. Right. Let me just start off with the Suaye issue. I know you've been with Suaye for about 10 years, and take us through a little bit of the process and how lawyers are getting the whole interpretation wrong, and no less a person that lawyer are you Kojo to.
Yeah, good morning to your cherished viewers, and good morning to Safo Kantanka Jnr. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
I hope I didn't add Kantanka. If you add that one, it's a Busa name.
Kantanka.
Kantanga.
Katanga.
Yeah, there's a G there.
There's a G, yes.
So, privileged to be with you.
Thank you.
Yes, I have been a Shrag investigator for 10 good years, and I know the processes as amply demonstrated or told by lawyer Amalba this morning. The process is simple. The commissioner's status is that of the status of an appeal high court judge. It doesn't make him an appeal court judge. We should get this very clear. And that any time there is an issue against him, people lodge petitions against him, it must be done in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution, for which he quoted copiously here to back reasons for which the petition, when referred from the President to the Chief Justice, is in the right direction. Or you can even lodge the petition direct with the Chief Justice for investigation to allege maladministration by a commissioner of Shirag or an appeal high court. Is the same procedure and so on. You know, but the interesting thing, people are confused. Other people have often argued that yes, even though he's up to the status of an appeal high court judge, he's not an appeal high court judge. Right. So for that matter, investigation should not be done by the Chief Justice, and that is why people are getting it wrong by saying that Attorney General. The issue is that these are provisions of the Constitution that must be followed in total. You have nothing to do than to follow the laid down procedures of Constitution. If you don't do that, you'll be going against the very tenets of the Constitution for which all of us must uphold. So the issue is this: people are saying that he should be the matter should be referred to the Attorney General. They are getting it wrong. In fact, it's a constitutional procedure for which Madame Loretta, the commissioner, is being taken to, just like the regional tribunal chairman, just like the electoral commission chairman. If petitions of this nature are filed against, but when you're a petitioner, then you bring a complaint before the commission. What happens is that you, the complainant, in this case, are not unfair, must also prove beyond reasonable doubt that the evidence he's adducing before the commission are truly evidence that facts that he can hold sway to. One, the issues that are not unfair. Where is he taking his facts from? Is it from the media report? Is it from the Auditor General's report?
But I think that his facts have been accepted by the presidency because according to the lawyers,
yes,
they can only the presidency can only forward the petition to the Chief Justice when they realize that your facts are actually something that they could go by, or the base on which you made your premise.
Read the proof. The provision that you forwarded a petition to the president to look into allegations of malfeasance or maladministration against the Commission of Shrag. What has the president got to do with that? He simply forwarded to the rightful body to look into the allegations raised against the commissioner. Then it is at that level, when a prima facie case is established, the president doesn't look into cases to establish anything that comes. The president will refer it to the appropriate authority. If it is in a case involving the Attorney General, that's why the Attorney General is the chief legal advisor to the president, Safini.
So it is the Chief Justice who is supposed to establish
the Chief Justice who established that, and that is the procedure in human rights. I've worked there for 10 years. Anytime I was an investigator, a petition is lodged in the commission. The district director refers it to me because I was an investigator. I do preliminary investigations to the matter, establish the preliminary investigation, including inviting the complainant and alleged witnesses, and in regards to the content of the petition. At that level, you then establish whether the commission should go further to establish. At that point, the commission can refer the petition to an appropriate authority. If it is a criminal case, if it is a case if it is a case before the judiciary, if it is a case that the commission does not, in cases of land dispute, cases involving the international diplomatic relations, cases involving cases before courts or determined by courts, the commission cannot handle such cases. So if you bring your petition that falls within, say, the commission will simply refer you to the appropriate authority to investigate your matter. So the president did the right thing by referring the petition. It is now the duty now rests with the Chief Justice to establish that prima facie. If at the first look at the petition, the Chief Justice find out that these are not issues that are supposed, that are concrete enough to indict the, what do you call it?
The
Shrag boss. He will dismiss it at that level. He won't even refer you to the committee. It will be dismissed instantly. And that is why I'm not done. You see, there's something interesting in this country. People want to politically score points for no reason. An issue has cropped up against a commissioner. The government has taken its position and asked the Auditor General to go and then investigate the matter. The Auditor General is still in the process. Then quickly you have gone on air, you have lodged a petition and running riots on radio station and judging and calling for civil society to demonstrate. Then if you know the demonstration can resolve the matter, go ahead and do the demonstration. Don't worry people.
But is there anything wrong?
There's everything wrong.
Whether or not a prima facie
there is everything wrong, because that is why I raised the issue.
That he's
I am saying this because I will not be surprised if the Chief Justice dismissed the petition. I am telling you,
because of the way he's behaving.
Because of the way you are behaving, you are preemptively making a case, calling on civil society to demonstrate. Demonstrate what? Have you read the version of the Shrag Commissioner's version? Why she moved it? Look, what an issue. You are working with this with First TV, right? If by your employment you come here and the management sits up and says that they don't have accommodation, but they are going to rent an accommodation for you, what do you have to do with that decision? Tell me. You move into it. If management sits down and tell me that team have been employed, but your official accommodation is not ready, and that we are going to get you a temporary accommodation to make you comfortable and able to, for you to be able to execute your functions, and then I move into it, why should I be taking responsibility for that? Has Shrag got an estate department?
Well, don't make that case yet because let's allow
I don't people just get up and they are running riots and making themselves
on to the substantive issue on the table. No, don't start an example.
Someone who got up and that he has sent the government to court for the non-payment of PEFA.
All right.
It's an issue that you don't need a lawyer to tell you that if such a case is gone to the court, they rule in your favor.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Ataboadey is also a member of government economic team, so he is very much welcome to comment on the substantive issue on the table this morning. Allow me to read a few about the man Sarfo Kantanka that all of us have heard the name, but
can you use the radio as a platform?
All right. So we go on.
Calling for
Please.
Political demonstration.
I need your attention here. What I'm going to read, you need it. Now, Apostle Dr. Kwadjo Sarfo Kantanka is a mysterious, and I like his writing. How they write I'm actually reading from African.org. So, Apostle Dr. Kwadjo Sarfo Kantanka is a mysterious but great man to have surfaced on the earth. He is a preacher, inventor, innovator, physicist, a chemist, biologist, agriculturalist, philanthropist, and a star of Africa. Now, he is the world's greatest multi-purpose scientist and technologist of all times, and has carried out the greatest philanthropic activity in Ghana. He funds all these exercises with revenue from his numerous investments. He's also the founder of Kosa Safo Church, cut short called Great Kosa, network of companies, and many other institutions. His mission is to redeem Africa from bondage. Now, brief veracity. First African man to manufacture vehicles, aircrafts, and heavy-duty machines. First man in the world to manufacture bass guitars with 7 strings, gadgets and machines with extraordinary features. Only man on earth capable of producing metals from seashells and palm husk, making metals renewable. Only individual on earth who practically cuts across the length and breadth of inventions and innovative science. Most mysterious man on earth. It is practically impossible to comprehend his level of wisdom. He has won several awards from reputable institutions. Allow me to read a bit of the early life. And Apostle Kwadjo Sarfo Kantanka was born on the 26th of August 1948, and he is in my month. We August borns, we are amazing. 1948 at Bekwai in the Ashanti region of Ghana. As a child, he had deep passion for science and technology. After closing from school, he would quickly do his homework and rush to the farm to get sticks for designing cars, helicopters, planes, etc. He designed machines and automobiles that had never been seen in town. The level of his wisdom displayed by the young Kwadjo Sarfo Kantanka through his speech and handcrafted astonished lots of people. So this earned him great respect from the community, including the youth and the elderly. Apart from his deep interest in studying nature, he loved sports. He was a very good footballer, musician, and dancer. Oh, he danced as well. It is therefore not surprising that he started manufacturing musical instruments at the early part of his life. And that's just a bit that I can read, or time will allow me to read now. If there need be, I'll go on with some more. And we have pictures of some of his heavy-duty machines that he actually has invented. So good morning once again, Kojo, and Honorable, good morning once again. We're still expecting John Sterling, who has still not arrived yet, but we'll continue with the discussion. And you would have to join in the discussion when it comes to developing the country with our own and the Ghana-made or Ghanaian-made campaign that the president seems to be embarking on lately?
Definitely, if it's nothing
Political.
I can.
It lies with you. You would actually can do it without making it political. I am found by this man. Forget it.
Allow me to
Allow me to do their own.
I know.
So there's a question that always bothers my mind about the fact that I heard that he never allowed his children to even go to school, outside. I mean, they were schooled at home.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the opportunity for me to get all that clarity and for you to confirm it, whether or not those were true or were facts that people were saying. How did you attend?
We were getting everything that people who schooled outside were getting. He actually employed in the syllabus, in the curriculum, everything that there is when it comes to core maths, elective maths, every subject that there is that was being taught in outside schools. We had teachers who come home and they taught us all those things at home. It wasn't a problem. There was no big issue. The difference was the environment and the location. We had ours in our own home, and other kids went to school outside. I, on the other hand, I used to be very stubborn when I was
little.
When I was little.
You know, I can tell.
You can tell, huh?
Yeah, because you've got a mark here.
Oh, it's not always people who have marks that are stubborn.
Yeah, very often.
Okay. So, what happened was, the difference between us and the kids outside, we were getting more of practical education at home. Yeah, at the age of, let's say, 7 years, we're all able to do lighting systems. We're able to fix these lights that you use in your studios. We're able to do a whole lot of things. And I believe if we had continued, I would have been a genius by the age of 16 years. But I, on the other hand, went to St. Andrews, Presec for a while. I continued.
Because you wanted to have a feel of...
I don't know. It was Dad's decision amongst the kids. So I also went to the UK. I went to Watson College in the UK, left the UK to the US. That's where I did my piloting training in Phoenix East Aviation. At the age of 19 years, I was the youngest pilot in my school. And if I was the youngest in the whole Florida at that age, in West Africa, I was the youngest in the whole West Africa. I didn't actually.
So you and your sister had an agenda of actually doing things to becoming the youngest, lawyer,
it was not
the youngest
premeditated or anything. It just happened. With the kind of training that we were getting from the old man. It just came.
Are you only 2?
No, we are 7.
Huh? Where are the rest?
They are there. I'll show you the family picture one day.
Oh, one day, that will be tomorrow. Because trust me, I'm coming to the house. So,
sure.
When you were actually at home doing the schooling in the house, and there were other children who were in school, how did you feel? Didn't you feel like, I'm lacking, I want to mix up with the children outside, I want to, mingle?
No.
Or...
We grew up, our dad is our best friend. He's
obviously, you guys were schooling at home.
For me, he's my best friend. I speak to him practically about everything. Personal, emotional, everything. And he knows all my capabilities and things I would do and things I wouldn't do. So he's the best person I've known my whole life. And my other best friend is my sister, the Honorable Kwadjo Sarfo. Yeah. So we grew up very close. With
Adjoa?
Yeah, we grew up very close. We all grew up in the same house, we eat from the same bowl, and we were each other's keeper, and we all had our best friends within. Yeah, so it was very easy. We didn't really, if you don't know what is going outside there, you don't miss it. So we didn't really know what was going out there, till we got to a certain level. He knew, okay, these kids are really built and they have a very tight skin. So it's very hard for someone to break us with mere words, or maybe because I'm in a certain position I'm being criticized for something and it affects me. No, we are very focused.
Let me do go a bit more personal with your family. I mean, you are in the media more with your kids and the father. How about the mother?
My mom is around.
She's around?
Yeah.
Can I meet her?
I remember last week someone asked me, it's all about your dad, Do you even have a mom? Were you conceived by a woman? I was like, no.
Usually,
I was conceived by two
usually in the family, the boys are more closer to the mom, and then the girls are more closer to the fathers.
I have a personal agenda which draws me close to my father.
Oh, you have an agenda, huh?
Yeah, I have a personal agenda.
I see.
Before the age of 30, there's something that I want to achieve before I hit 30.
So, when children are born into a family where we normally term it, he was born with a silver spoon or a golden spoon in the mouth and stuff like that, we think that such children don't really, they don't see life, they don't have the experience, they don't know it all. I mean, it's the ones that are born into, the hardcore ones and then the hustlers, they learn the hard way, so they get to know a lot of things. In your case, it's also very, very different.
Very different.
That you were born, it's not that you were born into a poor family, you were okay, you were well-to-do, you could educate yourself, your father could pay your school fees and everything, but you also learned the hard way that at age 7, you could fix light bulbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you could have, you did achieve a lot of things.
And this is something that we're doing after the theory side. So we're actually learning how to...
Practically.
The lines on the motherboard, we're learning how to fix the capacitors, everything. We're learning earth and wires. And, if I still believe that if it hadn't been for certain things that came up, we would have been really, really all over the place.
Certain things.
Yeah.
And now I'll come back to the certain things, and then
there wouldn't be no certain things.
I'll come back to the certain things, the industrialization bit of what you practically you are doing. But I'll have you say a bit about his introduction into life in general, and his family, actually his siblings, before we go into the bigger picture.
What do I have to say when the man himself has spoken? But I think that it's an interesting experience they've gone through. He's been able to blend what you term to be a silver spoon that you are born, that you have in your mouth. I don't know whether there are golden spoons too.
There are golden spoons. Actually, those ones are better than the silver.
So shall it be. But the interesting thing is that he's also coming from a background where his father probably might not have been born with a silver spoon in his mouth. So he would have also gone through the challenges of life as most of our parents did. But then to come from such a background, to be very humble, is very important. To know where you are coming from and know where you are moving to. You have a broader attitude towards life. You have a broader knowledge about life and how you would want to see the world in 30 years, like he's saying why he wants to be close to the father, at which we would all monitor and see the 30 years and when he comes, what he has in store that he would avail
I want to do the monitoring.
Yeah, but we are part and parcel of the monitoring. But I think that is splendid. But where I got it, the homeschooling, in fact, I heard it, I think recently on GTV, I heard some parents also talking about homeschooling. But it was also right that the father, after homeschooling them for some time, had to let them out to also blend what was outside and what was homegrown, so that they'll be able to marry too. Because as you go into the uncertain world, there are a lot of challenges that will come up, and you need to use your local acquired skills or your homegrown skills to surmount what is outside there for you to be able to cope with life. So I think he's a young man, he's growing a lot, and that because they've not seen the world outside and nothing in the world challenges them, I am hoping and praying that those challenges do not break them down. It should not be a problem that are insurmountable. Normally, one of the issues about life and about all of us, especially coming from this black world, is that we often jump to look at what people are enjoying today without looking at their background, what they came from. And when they were going through those challenges, where were you? So that you can just use within a twinkle of a second and rubbish everything that someone has done, which we must live above pettiness, above jealousies, above enviness, and above anything that is evil and that doesn't move it forward. And I think when you read, especially, I know we'll come to that, about the writer did very well. I think he did I am hoping that when we come there, we'll make the details that we would begin. You know, the issues that is confronting our economy today has been the fact that we have been largely consumers of foreign exports than the locally grown exports. So if an industrialist like this is coming up with locally manufactured item, we should be able to patronize them well. Especially once the item is done here, we can often find a replacement of a part that has gone missing, a part that has been broken, that you need to import old parts. And so I know we'll go into detail, but I think that for now, I think that they've done quite a lot well. A lot of people who have come through this have gone wayward. They've not even taken what their father have done. They are even going outside there, stealing it and then spoiling the name of the family.
When I started the show, I mentioned Dr. Papa Kwadjo, and he is one person who is almost like although he's not working on the lines of engineer, his business is cuts across almost everything. He can do the banking, he can do the media, he can do the quarries, he can do almost everything, and he gets his family involved, which is something that it helps strengthening.
That is when the families
chain.
are willing to get themselves involved. Some of them are
It
so
depends
stubborn.
on how, just as he
Even
said.
getting them involved will be a disadvantage to the business. So you confine them where they want to be and allow them to be there.
No, but your father started quite well because he actually imbibed in you when you were kids. Right from kids.
Some of the children have refused to be decultured, and their mind continued to be colonized. It is that he
I
has
don't want
had...
you to take this thing out.
No. It is that, we all have kids. It is that God being good on the part of the father, they've been able to be brought in that light. That they are gradually emulating what the father... A lot of... You can mention them in the world. We can mention them.
Now, on your background as a teacher or as a lecturer as well, I had an interview with Miss Ghana UK some time back, and we went into the educational bit where children in Ghana, they do the education all right, they go into the classrooms and then we teach the theory and that's it, and the children don't get the practical aspect, and that's the difference between Ghanaian kids compared to elsewhere kids, and that is what they are getting more than what we also getting, and we grew up knowing absolutely nothing, even though we've been to school, and that is what he has also gotten as a plus right from childhood. What do you think we can do when it comes to the children and practicality? Obviously, government hasn't resourced us enough to even go practical.
The concept of the JSS system that came was supposed to have taken on board skills development until now. But we failed to implement the aspect of the system and went strictly academic. So even now, people who have seen not have done well in terms of moving into the next step, which is the SS, seem like they are drops and they are failures. But when you look at the great inventors of this world, they are not professors. And even some of our professors today have stopped thinking. They can't think. They can't even think of how to make tea. You see, and yet they come on platform, they propound theories that are non-existent. How do we then move forward in this our millennia? Say that we are able to blend, today we are talking about turning polytechnics into technical universities. Why did it take us so long after independence to turn this into technical? Now that we have realized the value of it. So this should be inculcated with them from child. Even they can use papers to be making aircrafts and whatnot and so on. These are all tuning the minds of our young ones who are catching up that, look, all is not about academic excellence. You do and get AAs. People have gotten that. Where did they end up? Some of them end up stealing from people. As professors and as academicians, they pretend to be doing business while underage they are stealing from the poor people. You understand? So I think that we should be able to blend that aspect and inculcate into our children to a sense of patriotism, nationalism, so that they will move away from stealing so much from people whom the money doesn't really belong to them. At the end of the day, they lord that money, they ill-gotten wealth over the people. You see, and these are the issues that we should begin to. He talks about America. Yes, America, the environment and the system allow that. I'm happy with him. We've gotten a lot of our Ghanaians, especially the ladies, who have never traveled, but they speak slangs. He has gone to London, he has gone to the UAE, he has done pilot, and he speaks.
You mean the slur?
Then whatever they call it, I don't know. Like he's speaking like a Ghanaian. You understand? They will want to speak in even the grammar is a problem. They are murdering grammar. Yet when they come to speak, the first thing in their mind is to speak like a white man. So their minds have not even been decolonized. They are still in the colonial era, you understand? So these are all practical issues that we should let our people be proud of our culture. And whatever that comes out from the black boy, we should let our people be proud about it. You can't come and be speaking slang that we cannot hear you say. Even your grammar is a problem, you want to explain things to it. No, what I said.
Oh, he's obviously impressed with your,
No, I'm not,
So let's go on. So now, Kojo, take us
people come and
into
they are
the bigger
people
picture.
with grammatical errors here and they are not even...
Who has offended you with a grammatical error?
That is a fact.
Who is that? You want to mention the name?
No,
Or you off air? Off air. Tell me off air. So now, Kojo, let's go into the bigger picture.
Okay.
What from what I read about your father, he actually started working on what he wants to do right from childhood. But when was his breakthrough? Was it when he started schooling you guys at home?
If I'm gonna speak about breakthrough, I would say it's this current Kantanka automobile that is going to be on the market. And you know, he started with, as a matter of fact, the person who even wrote this whole script about him knows my father even more than
you do. I've surprised you with some information.
Yeah, you have. And I am really impressed and very happy someone who isn't a church member or isn't a family member can actually write something good about all that he... I sometimes
I just
feel...
like the opening.
Yeah, you know,
a mysterious great man.
I sometimes feel that he's not really being appreciated as he's supposed to. You know, he started with this inventions and innovations way back in 1987 or 84 or so at Dakuman. Yeah. And
were you born?
I'm not going to answer that. Yeah, I was born.
Okay, I hear.
And he started with this electronic appliances, musical instruments. He started with amplifiers, with stabilizers. He started with mixers. He started bass guitar. You know, he heard the first electronic drums when it came to Ghana. He heard the sound of it. And he was like, wow. I did what he said, you know, it's nothing strange.
It's
so he just put a few woods together, looked at how the thing was. He bought some, opened it. He was like, this thing can be done. Why is it so expensive in Ghana? Then he made the same thing. And he even added, the good thing about my dad is he adds value. He adds something different, something that the white man has not even thought of. For example, our televisions. Before Samsung even came up with that sensor, hand sensor thing, we had done it way back in 1999, 2000.
Huh?
Yeah. Our television, if you clap, the TV comes on. If you blow normal breath into it, the TV comes on. And we did these things way back in 2000, 2001. It's been there. We've done it before even Samsung even came out with this.
I can say that how close do you go to blow the air into the TV?
About 2 inches or 3 inches away.
Really?
Yeah. Let's say 3 inches away.
Because there's a TV in my house, you just have to pass.
That is why.
Then you're dead.
That is why, you know, the good thing about the good thing about our appliances is if you blow the air into it and it doesn't come on, you always have a switch.
Yes, there's always a second.
There's a button always there. Like our cars, we have a car that you started with a card or a stick or your watch. So we designed it in such a way that what if the watch isn't working? You still have your key. Yeah.
So the ones that you open with your thumb, that it uses a fingertip.
There's always a key.
There's always a key as well. I see. I see, yes, because I was talking about, I said, a TV in my house, you can pass your hand on it and you just, I think
increase
lights.
the volume.
No, and it comes on, you just pass your hand. And
is it a Samsung TV?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, something like that. But if it doesn't, you can, you always use the remote if you're away or stuff like that. So, now, first of all, let's, one after the other, the items that you have invented and how you also come into the picture. Is that just in the picture also helping with the inventions?
Yes, I was a politician.
I know, right? Okay. So what are the things that you are producing?
Wow. If I'm going to speak about it,
No,
we have
one after the other.
We have different departments at the Kantanka Research Center on the Gomwa and Pota Road. And let me start from the bodybuilding. We have people that build the bodies of the car. They do it from scratch. And we have the welding department also attached to the bodybuilders. We have special people that also do the frame of the car. It's not any welder that can put together the frame of the car. It needs a lot of thinking, a lot of skill. It has a lot to do with measurements and all that. If you get something wrong with the whole frame, the whole car,
it's off the market.
It's just a deformity.
I know he also has a school. He trains people.
That's
as well,
the same
right?
place.
That's the same place. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And we also have the mechanics. They are the ones who build the engine. They fix the engine. They assemble the engine. And in case of any fault to the engine, they repair it as well. Also, we have the carpentry department. They fix everything. If you see the kind of chairs or wardrobes or cabinets or kitchen setup that they do, you will be marveled. You will be surprised.
You do wardrobes as well?
Yeah, everything.
Man, I need one.
In terms of carpentry, we do everything. Everything. At the site, there isn't anything apart from building human beings.
Which you do soon. Wait. So you from what I read, the man is where are you? Okay, he is a preacher, he is an innovator, physicist, chemist, biologist, agriculturalist. You have farms as well.
Yeah.
What do you grow on the farms?
We have corn, we have pineapple, pawpaw, rice, maize, a lot.
Hold on. Agriculturalist, philanthropist, and a staff.
We used to export the papaya and the pineapple. Yeah.
What about the corn?
The corn, we normally give it out for free.
You give the corn out for free?
Yeah, we have this thing we do. A lot of people know about it. Every year we dash more than 300 to 500 bags of maize.
Why do you give the corn out for free?
My dad.
Why? Because he's a preacher?
No. There are a lot of, he's a philanthropist. And also it's part of his whole vision that he has.
So he gives it out to the needy?
The needy, yeah. And also to the home, let's say the children's homes and the prisons and all other places.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope Papa could send them to his doing that. He's also giving a charity. No, I just want to know.
He's asking.
He's also an entrepreneur. So
we also give
emulate if he's not
plantain and
Papa Kusindum is a businessman, right?
Yeah, but businessman.
We didn't write in his biography that he's a philanthropist. We didn't write that he's a philanthropist.
He should also.
Kojo, give me a break here. First of all, before I even let you come in, we know you've had some interactions with the government officials, one after the other. I mean, I've watched government officials come and visit your training centers and your innovation centers, buy some of the equipment in the cars. And there's one minister I hear when he came there, and they said they have to sit in the car. He said, his bodyguard should go and sit in the car. And he was sitting in his own car. He didn't believe in the car. He didn't even want the car. I don't know how. But how has been, like you said, your father is not being appreciated like you expected. I mean, can you take me through that?
I feel it's not only about the awards. You know,
Exactly.
you can honor someone, but if you're not supporting the person's mission, what's the essence of honoring him? Imagine his whole idea. You know, my dad is, if you know him personally, he's a very selfless person.
I'm trying to know him.
Yeah, he's a very selfless person. You know, he has this goal, this vision that he wants all Africans to come to the awareness that the only difference between we and the white people is the color and maybe the hair. If a black man is able to travel outside the country and take a white woman and have babies with a white woman, that means the white woman is not a scary person. They come here, they take our woman, and we have breeds like some of us. And if
I was just going to say,
I was not going to use my name. if so, as I was saying,
No, it's true.
if
no, but it's a fact.
could you continue?
as I was saying, if I believe in history that the first wheels, as in the car, was made in Egypt. Egypt happens to be in Africa. Most of these great inventors that we hear about were all taken from Africa. And we channel most of our energy into talking plenty than into actually working. We would sit down and instead of us to find time, like for me, for instance, I wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. and I am the CEO of all the Kantanka group of companies. I'm not a CEO by the number of CEOs you see in town with all those suits and ties killing their neck and all that heat in
Your
the
neck is even too big.
system. Yeah,
But
and all that. I don't spend my time doing that. I spend my time welding. I spend my time actually going up and down at the workshops, making sure that they are doing it. And I actually know most of these things that we do. So if I tell you let's do this thing, then I start doing it myself. So if you, the worker, you're going to stand aside and
watch your boss
do it.
Yeah, that's your own palaver.
That's your own palaver.
Yeah.
So I feel, you know, by now, I traveled. I'm going to come back to the question you asked me. I traveled to I've been saying this on air for the past 2 months, and I traveled to a town in India called Hyderabad. From the airport, from Rajiv Gandhi Airport to my hotel, all I saw was Indian-made goods that people were using there, from Mahindra to Tata. Even the networks that they are using are locally
communication networks.
Yeah, communication networks. And I was highly impressed. I saw flash screens that were made in India. I saw everything when it comes to electronics, when it comes to electricals, everything to engineering, to it all. And you know the funny thing, I was going there to buy this borehole machines and the rig. And this is something that after I brought it back into Ghana, I was like, this thing, it's metal, it's hydraulics, boom. And just a crawler and a motor. It's nothing that we cannot do if we have the support of the government or certain corporations. And coming back to my dad's question, if India has been able to accept their own product, believe in it, and they are using it in their own country, what stops us from doing the same thing? All the police cars I saw in India were locally manufactured cars that were being used for it.
And for the police car, don't even go there. Yet we keep importing cars and the police will also not take care of it and maintain it properly.
Every day. Imagine if the police were buying cars from us. We have a 24-hour service. People that can come anywhere that you are if you have a breakdown. Take the car.
You know, this man actually met the president recently, so I'm going to actually push him to work on such things. And now, you have, let's say, you have a number of, say, enough products that, let's say, a government institution wants to get some, you know. And
we have a plant. Initially, our plant was going to be able to produce 50 cars a month, 50 to 100. But now, we've increased the welding line. So by next year, we can produce, let's say, 300 to 400 a month. if we get any order of any capacity, we can do it.
Hold on there. Now let me come back to you. He said a lot, but we are doing this collaboration because it is just about time that the Ghanaian develops its own and uses it and believes in it. But when you have cases where ministers will even go and not even show an example of even being able to say, is that a fact?
I spent most of my years in
the
US, so
you
I can't tell.
Okay.
But recently, the ones that we've interacted with, the ones that have been there, there's this minister who came, the acting minister of trade, Mustafa Ahmed. And he was superb. He's one of the level-headed people that I've met in the government. Like recently, I met with the Ghana Standards Authority, both executives. If we were to have a lot of these people in our department, agencies, and ministries, I believe Ghana will be on a very different level. Yeah.
Yeah, I am hoping that after this, I'll be one of the best people you have met.
So far, from today.
Action, actually.
Not only Dr. Ahmed Mustafa, this is Dr. who is my friend too. Yes, talking about the fact that his father is not being appreciated, it is the behavior of the Ghanaian and for that matter the Black African. When you even look at China, Thailand and so on, the type of cars they are manufacturing, the Hyundai, and currently China is visiting the Great Wall. So and so on. And yet we take important them. I remember when we came to power, I think during Kombo's time also, they imported a good number of the Great Wall pickups.
About 200 of them.
200 for the Ministry of Health. And mostly even our police are also using this. Is it Mahindra? And so on and so forth. You see, even Tata. Yes, even Tata.
We can tell the value of the cars. In fact, if you call Benz, you know that, Benz is much more, the value is higher than some cars. I don't want to mention any cars.
No, but you see, I wouldn't cut you. I really have respect for the manufacturers of Tata and Mahindra. Ask me why. They started from somewhere. Benz started from somewhere.
Yes.
If you know the history of Mercedes-Benz, it didn't, even Tata and Mahindras have gone way ahead of what Benz and the other manufacturers did. They are starting with SUVs and pickups and
already.
Benz started with. And look at where Mahindra. Have you seen the latest Tata vehicles in town? They are very nice. And in the next 20 years for Tata, you can imagine where they will be.
It's not even their only nice, but they are even expensive beyond the ordinary man's demand.
Yes.
Also. And one of the most important things is that, look, if we buy if you patronize your local manufactured items, the repairs are done here. Like he said, you can call within 24 hours, and that you need, they will fix it for you. That's the most important about all the vehicles in this country.
Yeah.
I was happy when the president appeared before Parliament and said that he was showcasing the horseman shoe made by Ghanaians. Imagine if all of us begin to patronize horseman shoes in Ghana here. Apart from the employment,
the revenue that's going to be in the system.
That's going to be in the system. I started by saying the economic challenges we are having now is because we have developed some insatiable appetite to consume foreign-made goods. We are not even looking at the quality, but because the thing comes, even in the US, it's not all shops that you can go and get quality items. It is you are told where to get quality items. When you go to China, for instance, our people go to Guangzhou or where do you people go? Is it Guangzhou? Then you go and then pick baller, literally baller, and come and sell us here. Phones that are manufactured for the use of domestic Chinese people, it's not supposed to be exported. Our people go and test the same phones and come and fool us that they are Nokia. They are this. And they sell it to us at that cutthroat price. But if you go to China, you go to a shop and you want a phone that has the quality of that of the US or whatever that the origin, you get it. They'll tell you that for this place, this is where you can get. If you go to one of their popular markets, they'll tell you that this place you can bargain, but if you want the quality one, you go here. What it means is that those ones are for the local markets. But because of The fact that I want to buy an item and can make over 1,000 profit, that is where our traders go and then come and dump. Then we have literally what we call e-waste. A lot of the e-waste in Ghana here will become dumping grounds for e-waste and for electrical gadgets that are not conducive to our environment and so on. And I believe that industries like Sarfo Kantanka's industries would take into consideration the atmosphere, the environment that we are. First of all, our geographical location and so on. That is why even seasoned manufacturing countries like the Toyota and Nissan, they do our vehicles in tandem with our tropical conditions here. And I think that is a good thing. If laws are done, you have seen our constitution, you can make the best laws. If you don't begin to practicalize the laws, you will not know that they are defects. If we don't begin to make use of what we do in Ghana here, you wouldn't know that there's an effect. So the manufacturer attention, because there's always room for improvement, will be drawn to the fact that this item you put into the market is defect in A, B, C, D. So as the years roll by, he begins to do what? To perfect the system. But if the cars are done, or whatever manufacturing that is coming from Pastor Kantanka's place, it's not being patronized by government. The government should be the first consumer of the item for ordinary people to
I was just going to ask that you're talking about the attitude of Ghanaians, but we also say leadership by example, and it's not just a saying.
Yes.
We just want the leaders to do things so
I agree.
we can follow through.
Yes. Even as starters, they can even release 1 or 2 vehicles to government. One can be given to the police, one can be given to the army, one can be given to hospitals. You understand? Then they will come out and attest to the resilience of that item they are using and its conditions to the atmosphere and so on. You understand? If we don't begin to do that, this is our attitude, our African attitude. Like, you've invited some people to come to the program this morning, they've not come up to now, and yet they've lived in air conditions rooms. And I've traveled from community.
Let me find out from you, Kojo. Are you producing?
I'm from Winneba.
Are you supporting him?
Story buildings.
Are you producing for any institution?
At the moment?
Yes.
No. We what we're doing is we're to do this test samples.
And they've not even given any excuse why they didn't even come.
No, Honorable, I love him, please.
We are done with the samples. And we've had several meetings with the government. So what we're waiting for is our approval of our chassis number. Now, finally, we have our manufacturer's license.
From government, you're waiting for an approval?
From Ghana Standards Authority.
Okay.
We're waiting for an approval of our chassis number. Then the cars can be on the market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to touch on the youth, but hold on, Honorable, hold on. I have been joined on the line. I have been joined on the line by Ras Mubarak. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority.
Very good friend.
He's your friend. Okay, then Ras, good morning to you. How are you?
Very good, honey, and good morning to Honorable and my brother, Kwadjo Sarfo Jnr.
Right, he's very glad that you've joined us on the line, but he's hoping to meet you soon. So come back soon and then we can meet once again, Ras.
Thank you very much.
Great. Let me go straight to the point. When it comes to the youth, I know you are championing it now, and you once Kojo is your friend, you are just equally informed with everything that Kojo and his family is doing. What do you have? What plans do you have, especially when it comes to the youth, in patronizing the services of the Kantanka products?
Well, I mean, there's going to be a lot of. First of all, let me comment on Ghanaian businessmen and women. You know, small-scale industries in the country who are largely the backbone of this country. You know, people who are trying to make things happen on their own, and very difficult challenges, because it looks that as a country, it looks like we have an insatiable taste for foreign products, you know, and that hasn't helped quite a lot in terms of the growth of our economy, in terms of our ability to create more jobs for our young people. So I get exceedingly excited whenever young people and indeed Ghanaians generally are trying to be very creative and trying to start businesses from the scratch, you know, and that's why I'm supportive of Apostle Kwadjo Sarfo Kantanka's initiatives, because it's creating a lot of jobs. And you see, when we do support these businesses, ultimately, whatever resources that would be, whatever profits that would be made from these businesses remain in Ghana. One of the challenges we have in the country is the issue of capital flow. You know, and that's largely because a lot of the multinational corporations are not Ghanaian owned or largely foreign owned. So they need to, you know, take out a lot of money out of our economy. And from our end, we have been encouraging young people on the need to domesticate, on the need to eat Ghana, to grow Ghana, to wear Ghana. And when it comes to industry, I know we have a lot of potential. You know, Ghana is strategically positioned. If you look at our place in the sub-Saharan African continent, if you also look at the fact that Ghana is largely one of the most peaceful countries and on the African continent, and very positive for investment. You know, so we need to exploit all of those things and be able to create jobs for men and women in this country. I know there's a lot of encouragement for people to get into the agri sector. I know the industrial sector is doing well as well, but we should even go beyond all of these sectors. Go beyond the four major sectors, which is the oil sector, the industrial sector, the agri sector, and so on and so forth, and even look at the tourism sector. Because for me, I believe that a lot of young people we can create a lot of jobs for the youth if we market our country properly. And that comes with giving the kinds of things we have. I'll give you a typical example. You go to any high street restaurant. The menu we get is largely foreign. You know, somebody is leaving America, somebody is leaving Europe and coming to our country to spend their hard-earned euros or dollars. They are looking for something unique. So what is the unique selling proposition of our country, as a tourism hub? If you have a company that is manufacturing vehicles or that is assembling vehicles, I mean, people would like to come and have a look. So,
I'm sure you're getting the idea.
When these Korean vehicles started coming into our country, they were ridiculously laughable, but over time we have accepted those Korean-made vehicles. And I strongly believe that if we support Ghanaians, our compatriots who are trying to make things happen, it will go a long way to helping us. I'm encouraging my brother, Kwadjo Sarfo Jnr. and the rest of the industry players to endeavor to stay the course and to keep focus and to try as much as possible to bring a lot of impact in the question that they raised. For instance, one of the criticisms against them is that, we've been talking about these Kantanka vehicles for a very long time. When are they coming on stream and when are they coming, to the market and so on and so forth? The process, as is explained, is ongoing. I've told it personally that I would be happy to order at least a pickup or two for my campaign in 2016. I hope that by which time they would have been ready to do this. If all of us, people in office and in private office tend to be seen to be promoting Ghana, everybody has to fall in line. But, you see us, we are wearing, foreign-made goods. We are not eating locally made. Take Kenya Airways, for instance. If you fly Kenya Airways, the rice they serve on their flights are locally made rice from Kenya. And they've been able to market it so well that you have no option. Let's make eating and wearing things foreign inexpensive. Because if you have a tailor, for instance, who is Ghanaian, and they give him a job to do for you, you're putting food on that tailor's table. Because he's going to work, whatever they're paying him, will trickle down into taxes, he'll have to take care of his family, and so on and so forth. And if we continue with this culture of, foreign importation of everything, it would have helped us. If we had started buying Ghanaian-made vehicles, if we had supported locally made industry.
Raz, yeah, it's becoming quite frustrating that we keep talking about the fact that, it's always good to, consume Ghanaian-made products, but we are just not being so active or proactive towards that kind of talk. So I'm wrapping up because of time, but quickly, before you go, how soon do you think that we can get things rolling, especially on the youth side when it comes to Sarfo Kantanka's innovations?
Well, I mean, it's a mind thing, and I'm so happy that you are discussing this on a Tuesday morning when everyone else is focused on politics. You tune into the radio stations and TV stations on a weekday morning, and it's all about politics. Nothing progressive, nothing about development, nothing about empowering our people. And these things are quite sad. So the task of helping the youth of our country goes beyond the National Youth Authority of Ghana, goes beyond the Kantanka group of companies. All of us will have to be involved.
Right.
And it begins with all of us. That job rests with every Ghanaian. Right. Let's make the tireless effort. As much as wearing, a locally made dress may not be comfortable for you, you make the effort. At least, if for nothing, you are putting food on the table of a Ghanaian. At least you are reducing unemployment. At least you are creating jobs for Ghanaians. And that is the most important thing.
Right, Raz, thank you so much for your time. Honorable Timothy Ataboadey is also saying hello to you, but I'm reminding you that I'm going to follow up and make sure that you are using a Ghanaian-made produced vehicle for your campaign. You can bet, yes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I wish you safe journey on your traveling agenda. So Ras Mubarak is the CEO of the Youth Authority. That's the National Youth Authority. Well, it's on our table. So he's been talking to you though.
Yeah, we are in some kind of a partnership with them to develop this area on the Agbogbloshie area to. Actually, we want to bring all the departments that we have from Winneba, a sub part of it to Agbogbloshie area to train kids. I for one, I'm not really happy when I see children on the street selling. You can see someone selling something like chewing gum. Imagine how much is the person going to make from chewing gum if he's been approached by any bad idea. You see, I cry every time in the streets of Accra. I had this thing on my Twitter one time that it breaks my heart to see people stand in the sun. I once got down from my car to walk. We were doing this Kantanka campaign, and the reception the son gave me, I quickly ran back into my car and said, hey, so the people who go through this, for example, the mothers who go and deliver a kolebu and they don't have the resources, the funds. So I personally said on Joy FM, that in December I was going to make a donation to the Kolebu Children's Ward, but I'm going to actually pick certain families and donate to them personally, because I feel if God has been able to bless me with what I have, I should also be able to bless someone else. So with what Ras is saying, he personally told me he's going to order 3, and he said 2. So Ras, please add the other one to
So come in.
Yeah.
I'm still. We always talk to them, and they always come out with promises.
See, I wouldn't cut the honorable. Every minister, every government official that you meet keeps giving you positive vibes.
Yes.
Now, what I have realized, I am not someone who likes to be controversial, but it's becoming very annoying. What is happening now is, now the ministers and the government official or people that you meet from the government tell you, okay, do this and we will do this for you. Do this, let's say, get your certification, get your license, we are ready to work with you. Now, where the problem lies is the people who actually work with the ministries, the departments and the agencies, the civil service. Somebody who's supposed to make sure this file or this paper gets to honorable keeps this file here because you know. And it's becoming very, very annoying. And you see, this thing needs to stop in this country. People need to work. Because we on the private sector are actually working tirelessly to make sure we improve. I don't believe in the government improving the whole system.
No.
I don't believe in, okay, now the economy is not good, it's not great and all. So what? Yes, it has come. What are we doing about it? How are we willing as an individual or as people in the private sector willing to change it? We don't do anything about it, and we are always expecting government to always come in and do something. Do what? You on your other side, there's somebody in there somewhere in some office, which I'm not going to mention names, pulling you back, making sure.
I wish you would.
I wish I would, but as I said, I'm not a very controversial person because once I start,
this is not controversy. It's about facts.
Yeah, but
the facts,
I just don't like. Yeah, I just don't like mentioning names because Eva wants to.
I can mention, but it's really not good.
Maybe the next time I come here, I have a meeting with him before I come.
Yes, exactly. So that you check it to him.
You know, it's really, really frustrating. Imagine that you get goods at the port, you need to go clear them, and it takes you, after someone taking your money, it takes you more than 2 months to clear the goods out. Just imagine if you were on some kind of order from a company. Imagine what happens to you.
My progress. Bureaucracy.
You see,
and this one is corrupt.
It is
bureaucracy.
Not bureaucracy. It has been. We have consciously established the bureaucracy in order for us to be able to export.
To be corrupt.
Yes, because what is bureaucracy? Like he amply demonstrated, it is a fact that you go to some offices, the files are either kept away, even from the minister or the boss, so that they will look for it several times. And then you go and see the one who is in charge, talk to the fellow behind the scenes, and within a twinkle of an eye, they vomit out the file to you. It's happening through the judiciary to almost every facet of our life. But why should we also extend to private people who want to assist all of it? These are the issues. But like Ras said, the issue, the criticism has always been the Apostle Sarfo Kantanka's cars are coming. When are they arriving is the problem.
And my problem is the people who are going to make sure they arrive are pulling certain
those
things back.
Then you must make a case for that so that some of us who are with them can talk to them because let the class come out,
you know,
so that if you want to criticize, you can.
Some government officials don't also like to promote the private sector, the Ghanaian private sector, because when the international comes in, they get their kickbacks.
I know that. I know that.
Those ones are not deep,
but
people, honestly.
It is interesting.
They're not deep.
If
now I'm getting a bit
very
You know,
that controversy is coming out.
Look at tax evasion at the ports. Assuming that an importer brings in a goods worth 1 million for import duty, and then he goes to give you 50,000, and you are lied to go. What have you done to yourself?
You've killed the whole.
Not the country, but even yourself.
You've belittled yourself.
The whole world buffoon. You only eat banana. You understand? Because why would you allow 1 million worth of goods to pass because they've given 50,000 Ghana cedis? Why would you allow that? Doesn't it beat your mind? It's mind-boggling. And some of these issues, when you think about them, it irritates. But we are not of the same characters, and we are not of the same passion and patriotic that we are. But
it's rather unfortunate that those people are in the majority.
They are in the majority. And anytime a minister or an apt officer wants to put things in place, you are hooted at, you are embarrassed, and the next thing that they even gang and remove you from your office. So we want the public to fight this. We want the public to bring up issues against some officials. It is mind-boggling for us. I started a concrete example of where if you're an importer and bringing goods, it takes you 2 months. Why should that be? Within the next 2 weeks, you should clear your things. And why should it be? Why should people unnecessarily put obstacles in your way to clearing the goods? You must be a politician.
Well, it's very necessary for them.
You understand?
So
I'm believing that the Minister for Trade, Dr. Spiogabra, that has come in, would hear this thing and would rush to get them implemented. He's an international minister.
And I am believing that you can forward, because I actually made you a problem because you are a member.
He wants to
meet with you. So, Honorable, I'm giving you an assignment on the platform. If you
I would do
because you're a member of the committee team, I'm sure you can push it for us. And on the fact that you actually been meeting the president, I'm sure you can actually teach some of these things, and the procedures and the processes, documents go through.
And he's one person I would love to meet personally.
Okay. No,
I mean His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I feel it's right. I feel it's appropriate to be living in a country where you're doing something like this, and you need to let your president know.
Yeah.
I feel he has a lot on his mind. There's
Sometimes
so much
they don't
pressure.
even let him know. So
Sometimes
you
they
can
don't
I
sit
wouldn't
somewhere.
and the day I heard him say or
He's
speak
wearing
about the
horseman
horse,
shoes.
I was really impressed.
Yeah.
I was like,
This
that's
man
what I
believes
want to
in
hear.
all.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to meet him one day personally and show him the things that we can offer
Yeah.
this country, I believe he's a very, very open person and he'll be
Yeah,
very
he would. I
up for
think
it.
I would have to make sure that you meet him. He would not be in the country. He'll be traveling. He'll be back certainly. If he's back, I think we would have to get in touch and I would make sure. Sometimes meeting him, like she said, the people around him sometimes becomes a problem. They want you to. They want to take you through some procedures, fine. But you know, there are certain people who would want to meet him because of the process for developing the country.
No, that
It's
one
different.
people don't support.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I would put him at home and just see how a
Forget
young
that
man
one.
can get in
Just
touch with him.
yeah,
and
hit your
have
head again
a
against
5 minutes
things and make sure
discussion
exactly.
with him, and then he'll be interested.
Yeah.
If you have to mean, you have to invite him to visit the place and personally have a look around the place. It's good. It motivates and it gives a clearer picture to people outside there. Even if it will mean we have to go to Papa Kosendo's conglomerates and also go around and then they will showcase it. It's fine. But if you tell Papa Kosendo,
You know, the next person you actually have to meet is daughter Papa Kosendo.
Yes.
And that's his best friend.
You've been inviting his people to the program, they don't come. And I cannot get out. I don't understand why his
Mr. Sterling, Mr. John Sterling, wherever you
his
are, can you
communicators
place a call
invite them to the program. It's not
Honorable...
only here. All other programs that I go with the PPP communicators, they don't come there. I don't know whether he doesn't give them fuel or what. Or they don't have cars to come, or they are annoyed with the PPP party. They have to be there before we will be there. How can I get up, get trotro? And they are driving. I got trotro here. At 6 o'clock I was here. And they are not in. They won't even call to tell us that they are not coming for the program because of ABC.
You can't lambast them because you don't
I'm
know
not lambasting them. I am not lambasting them. If I don't tell him, I don't know that his communicators
we'll talk to
don't
Mr.
go
Sterling after the show.
Don't go to
but
shows.
have your last word before we
They are always hanging around.
Please allow him to, yeah.
I feel government should
Why?
put in place certain policies to protect the local manufacturers. And aside that, policies that can protect us in the sense that we can be getting certain exemptions from the port. There can be policies that, okay, if the police are buying 100 cars, let's say 30 or 40 of it should be bought from Kantanka vehicles, and it should cut across all the other ministries,
assemblies,
and district assemblies, and even the parliamentarians, because you know we can do everything
A lot.
to anyone's taste. In terms of customization, we have a very big room for customization. We can customize to anything that you want in terms of interior, exterior, anything. Aside that, I feel the government should
Even your furniture.
be checking, our civil servants, and also our ministries, departments, and agencies. People are there who are supposed to be doing ABCD, but need something before they do ABCD. And it's very heartbreaking when, especially when it involves the good name of Ghana. If I was doing something to tarnish the image and you're holding me back, fine. But if what I'm doing is going to actually put Ghana on the map, imagine people get to know Ghana is assembling cars or producing cars here.
But people know now.
Tourism
I mean, it's on the international front.
I was
They are
interviewed by
assembling
Al
cars.
Jazeera and Deutsche Welle.
Well,
But I feel it should go
beyond.
further than that.
And going beyond, it means that we actually have to start consuming our own. What we
Listen, one of the issues is I hope the vehicles are fuel efficient. People are now running away from high consuming.
Yeah, they are.
There was one question I didn't ask. The car you brought last week, there were 2 batteries in the car.
No, it was only one battery.
There was one.
And that was from your.
Then I got wrong information.
That was from your.
Yeah.
But why would you be driving when you have not been asked to drive it on the street?
We are doing a test drive.
It's a test drive.
What is it? What do you call it? Oh, mention the name you are sitting.
The time is up.
No, not center. what do you call it?
Standard board?
Standard board. Look at this fucking that's very trouble. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Honorable Ataboadey is former member of Buisa North constituency. He's also a member of the government economic team, and Kwadjo Sarfo Kantanka Jnr. is also an entrepreneur. I said that a bit of information, in fact just a little bit, because we haven't really touched on much. But the next bit I'm going to do is coming to the assembly. Yeah,
you should.
Exactly.
One of these days I'll do.
So stick with First TV. We'll bring you more information about the inventions of, these Ghanaian brains and what we're able to do in overcoming the impossible. It's very, very possible. I mean, don't sit there and be there with your archaic brains and think that we can actually do anything. So that's by way of the first show today. We're back with another show, but tomorrow we're touching on religious beliefs, visions, and how these pastors are coming, more of them are coming in, more of the visions are coming, but how does it positively or negatively affect you? I mean, what are they doing right, what are they doing wrong? We are actually putting the pastors on the tomorrow. In fact, if you are affected or offended, please don't be, because it's a show, and it will be for your own good. So join us tomorrow as we touch on that matter. Tomorrow.
Do not tell us what.
I haven't told you whom I'm bringing. I haven't told you whom I'm bringing.
You have to bring other people.
I'm sure you want to join, but so that's just why I want. Gentlemen, I thank you for your time this morning. I'm so grateful you came. My name is Annie Eframpofu. I thank my producers for making this show very much possible, and we're back tomorrow with the first show. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs.